Hello, dear friends. If we are to continue enjoying the freedoms that the Almighty's inspiration gave our founding fathers, we must return to God, who is their true author. May we look him, the author of our freedom. President Gordon B. Hinckley. Opinion piece. Golden timeline. Energetic reckoning. Healing from collective trauma. This process can be bewildering. This would be over in a few days. It's a time of great global discomfort. Possible blockade of the Persian Gulf. The most volatile week of the year starts. Let's start. A golden timeline is an ideal sequence of events or decisions in an optimal scenario that leads to the best possible outcome if followed correctly and at the right time. I believe we are on a golden timeline toward a golden future. Therefore, there is always an underlying positive reason for events guided by higher forces for the ultimate benefit of humankind. Does this perspective mean we should ignore negative events and neglect compassion? No. If anything, it should make us more sensitive to the unnecessary suffering of others. That is the direction we are heading. So, if it is true that we need a lot of faith to get through this, the golden timeline is a good resource in our current situation, as it leads us where we are going. Multiple channeled messages over the years have indicated that mainstream media would be the last to go. They need to be maintained to avoid mass hysteria. The coalition urged people to stay home and avoid crowds, according to Sierra. The global media network will be used during full disclosure through the EBS emergency broadcast system. This is when martial arrests and trials would be broadcast on every device in the world to confront the truth. According to Steve Biko, the war has escalated, but this would be a precursor of the 10 days of broadcasts according to the divine plan of the White Hats. According to Kay Stellar, the ABS will reveal the secret space program with footage of military incursions into bases controlled by the dark side on the Moon and Mars. These bases were intended as evacuation points for the elite. During these operations, advanced spacecraft hidden from the public for decades were also sized. Devices capable of causing hurricanes, earthquakes, and drafts, which have been sized from facilities in Alaska, China, and Norway, will also be revealed. Leaked documents show that these events were orchestrated to control populations and push the narrative about weather change. Volatility. From June 15th to 21st, the most volatile and dangerous week of the year begins energetically, which is crucial for individual and collective evolution, according to the Arcturian Council. This is not ordinary turbulence. This is a timeline purge unlike any we have experienced, where outdated realities and unresolved personal and collective issues are surfacing to be released. During this cosmic window, all realities begin to collapse, and people are forced to confront all that has not been healed or released. This is not a physical threat, but rather a spiritual and energetic reset for humankind. This is described as a challenging but transformative process with the potential for confusion or awakening depending on each individual's internal response. This energetic portal will expose hidden emotions, activate cellular memory, and shift planetary grids. Many will experience strange dreams, heightened intuition, or physical symptoms as lower timelines are cleared. It is a time of great discomfort, but of even greater transformation for those who remain grounded. Many spiritually sensitive people may experience unusual symptoms, such as anxiety, dizziness, fatigue, vivid dreams, or even moments of clarity and emotional release. These are described as responses to the rising planetary frequency and the realignment of the Earth's energy grid. This purge triggers the resurfacing of old memories, regrets, or emotional wounds, not as a punishment but as an opportunity for deep release and healing. The process can be disconcerting, as familiar routines, beliefs, or relationships suddenly lose their resonance. Purge. This conflict is no longer political. It is a galactic energetic purge. The turmoil we see around the world is not limited to governments or ideologies. It is a reflection of a deeper galactic energetic purge that is unfolding. What appears political is actually a cosmic cleansing, part of Earth's transition to higher frequencies and a multidimensional awakening according to Ashtar. The conflict is a necessary release of old timelines, karmic residue, and lower frequency forces that can no longer exist in the new light. This is not just a global reset, but an energetic reckoning that prepares humankind for a new evolutionary leap toward unity consciousness. What appears to be political or military conflict is in reality a cosmic cleansing. The visible political conflict is, in fact, the surface manifestation of a much deeper multidimensional galactic energetic purge that reaches far beyond the battlefield and affects the entire world. The Earth is transitioning to higher frequencies, and the current chaos is part of an awakening. Recent global conflicts are not isolated political events, but catalysts for a planetary energetic cleansing, serving a broader cosmic plan for Earth's ascension and humanity's awakening. The conflict triggered the release of old timelines, karmic residue, and lower frequency forces. This is described as an energetic reckoning that prepares humankind for a leap into unity consciousness. This purging releases not only personal wounds but also collective and generational ones. Emotional surges, old memories, and even physical sensations are considered part of this global purification process. The role of starseeds is to consolidate peace and stability, not through political actions, but maintaining a calm and a light frequency. Economy. Gold closes at an all-time high and oil soars with retail buying. Gold will hit $4,000 as China continues to secretly buy much more than it reports, according to Goldman Sachs. Gold overtakes the euro as the world's second largest reserve asset, according to the ECB. Oil prices rise, and European stocks suffer from the attack on Iran. Banks expect oil prices to rise up to $120. Everyone was watching the Strait of Hormuz, preparing for the sudden rise in oil prices. Iran is considering blocking the Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf, through which 26% of the world's oil is transported. Anyone following the energy markets should keep a close eye on this bottleneck. Silver has reached its highest level since 2011, fueling speculation that it could surpass its all-time high near 44. Middle East. Israel officially asks the US to join the war against Iran. Trump rejects Netanyahu's plea to join the war. Israel needs large US bunker busters. Trump hints at possible entry into a war as attacks intensify. A three-front war against Russia, China, and Iran is likely, says Alex Karp. Elon Musk claims he activated Starlink in Tehran after the regime cut off citizens' internet access amid Israeli strikes. Zelensky claims that Iran poses a serious threat to Ukraine amid the war. Iran and Israel must come to an agreement, and they will come to an agreement, said President Trump, who presented himself as a mediator capable of resolving disputes and avoiding wars. Trump claims that it is possible the US could become involved in the conflict between Israel and Iran. Tucker Carlson believes Trump is complicit in the attack on Iran and asks, how does this benefit the US? The war between Israel and Iran is destabilizing finances, according to Bill Holder. He states that if the US loses a war in the Middle East, or even if an aircraft carrier is sunk, a total collapse in the stock markets can be expected. This would coincide with an immediate explosion in the prices of physical gold and silver. Europe. Germany, France and the UK offered to negotiate Iran's nuclear program. Nicolas Sarkozy stripped of the French Legion of Honor 1 year after his condemnation was ratified. US Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth declared that the idea that this country should use all possible tools to pressure Russia to resolve the conflict in Ukraine, to which it will cut funding, is incoherent. Spain increases its gas purchases from the US as a result of pressure from Trump. Americas. 1,200 soldiers deployed in Sinaloa to strengthen security. Argentina dreams of becoming a liquefied natural gas powerhouse. Milei celebrates the drop in inflation, which reached its lowest level in 5 years. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.